Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our webinar on Jumpstart your SAP S4HANA Cloud Public Edition implementation. I am Alin Butnarashu, and I'm delighted to have you all here today. I'm leading Bearing Point's Platform Services SAP, delivering added value services to our SAP customers around the world for more than 15 years. As more and more customers are joining the SAP S4HANA Cloud Public Edition, this session is designed to provide you with valuable insight and practical guidance on implementing SAP Public Cloud. But first, let's cover some admin. This session is automatically recorded. We will send you a follow-up email and you can ask for the recording. We also encourage you to ask questions and engage through our chat. The chat is anonymous as the identity is revealed to the organizers, to Adrian and myself, and not with the rest of the participants. We have planned around 30 minutes for the presentation and around 50 minutes for the Q&A. Our goal is to ensure that you leave this webinar with a clear understanding of how to successfully jumpstart your SAP S4HANA Cloud Public Edition. So, please welcome Adrian Duțu, our SAP Basis Team Lead.
Thank you for the introduction, Alin. I'm Adrian Duțu, and I'm in the SAP technology area for more than 12 years already. I came up with the idea for this webinar because I noticed on several SAP public cloud implementation projects that although being provided with official SAP docs, the customers are having difficulties in setting up the systems once they are provisioned. Now, it might happen that also other webinars provided by SAP are available online for the public, but usually the demo systems are fully activated and fully configured systems, and what the customers are getting at the beginning of the project are empty shell systems that require extensive setup activities. So let's kick off with the agenda for today. We will start off with the initial systems provisioning. We continue with describing the landscape architecture overview, then central business configuration, setup and usage, transport management inside SAP public cloud systems, and upgrade and maintenance schedule. So what is SAP S4HANA Public Cloud? It's a ready-to-run software as a service cloud ERP that delivers the latest industry best practice business processes and brings continuous enhancements to help customers stay competitive, and with the short implementation time enables them to work toward their future business goals. With the pay-per-use pricing model, it is marketed by SAP to have the lowest total cost of ownership and highest return of investment of all SAP solutions. Some of the disadvantages of the solution are that costs may escalate if not managed efficiently. You don't have control over the infrastructure and allocated resources, and with limited options for customization, integration with other systems may require additional effort. From previous experiences, if a custom-built app is moving slow, the customers are always wondering if this is related to the machine resources or it's because the app is not properly configured. This solution tends to be best fit for small to mid-sized customers with minimal customization requirements and openness to adopting the pre-delivered sub-best practice business processes that are already available in the system. The SAP S4 Cloud Public Edition is also a good fit for larger customers when deployed in combination with SAP S4HANA On-Prem or SAP S4HANA Cloud Private Edition in a two-tier ERP structure. For a successful deployment, the customers can rely and use three key elements that SAP is offering for free. Sub-Activate methodology, which is a project methodology defined for SAP projects, SAP Signavio Process Navigator, that is a free service integrated into SAP for me to provide access to SAP solution scenarios contextual process information such as applications, integrations, and implemented solution capabilities. And finally, the SAP Cloud ALM, it's a tool that's designed to help customers in their SAP product adoption journey, and is preloaded with SAP Activate methodology and business process content, so the customer gets a jump start in the implementation project. So what is SAP for me? SAP for me is the main SAP customer portal. It recognizes the purchased SAP product portfolio and centralizes related information in one place. It provides transparency across the information types together with relevant self-service and links to more detailed information right when you need it. In this context, SAP for me is the single central point where all systems can be requested and provisioned by the customer or partner. The SAP Activate methodology represents a project implementation methodology used to plan and execute complex SAP solutions being designed to improve the quality and success of any SAP project. With the use of SAP Activate methodology, project managers can implement SAP solutions with much more ease by following the methodology roadmap that consists of 6 phases. The discover phase, when you understand the solution capabilities, the business value and benefits the solution brings to the business. The prepare phase, when performing the initial planning and preparation of the project, initial landscape provisioning and onboarding, and enablement of the project team. The explore phase, it's when fit to standard analyses are conducted, validate the solution fit, and identify delta requirements for configuration, data integration, and extensibility. The realize phase is when performing a series of agile iterations to configure, extend, and test an integrated business environment. Additionally, you perform the data loads, adoption activities, and plan production operations. On the deploy phase, it's when you finalize the setup of the production landscape. You perform data loads, confirm the readiness, and go live with the solution. And during the run phase, you continue with the adoption of the solution across the business, perform regression tests for system upgrades, and activate additional functionality as needed. The SAP Signavio Process Navigator is also a free service that's integrated into SAP for me to provide access to SAP solutions, contextual process information, such as applications, integrations, and implemented solution capabilities. While accessing the web page, on the home page, we have 2 tiles. Solution scenarios, which provides the list of SAP best practices for various SAP solutions, such as SAP S4HANA, SAP SuccessFactors, and other SAP products with the latest version of what the solution can offer. It also provides with various solution scenarios for end-to-end business processes, such as lead to cash and source to pay. On the solution processes tile, you have a list of various processes provided by SAP solutions. The user can filter based on version, country, region, and name of the solution process. Besides providing the flow diagram, accelerators such as setup instructions and test scripts for Cloud ALM are available. The SAP Cloud ALM is a tool that's designed to help customers in their product adoption journey with an initial focus on cloud products. A big advantage of using this tool is that it comes preloaded with SAP Activate methodology and business process content, so the customer project gets a jumpstart. The SAP Cloud ALM is delivered in the provisioning phase of the systems, and it's included in the cloud subscription together with SAP Enterprise support, and offers assistance in the implementation and operations carried out in SAP S4HANA Cloud. It's a complete application lifecycle management suite for customers who primarily rely on cloud solutions. The advantages are that the solution is cost efficient and based on recognized standard can be used immediately without extensive configuration. Companies can therefore implement SAP S/4HANA on-prem and cloud version based on the SAP Activate framework and the SAP best practices provided in a targeted and simple manner. Through the integration of SAP solutions, Cloud ALM becomes the central point for project management. After the discovery phase of the SAP Activate methodology, the customer system admin should have been already identified and communicated to SAP as early as possible, so it would be known who should be assigned the permission role of the IT contact. This role grants administrator access to support applications and the ability to provision the systems purchased by the customer. If no one has been explicitly chosen when the SAP S/4HANA Cloud contract is signed, the signer, CTO, CIO, or similar, will be granted by default the IT contact role. This can be changed at a later point in time if needed. The provisioning sequence of the systems for a brand new customer starts with the SAP Cloud Identity Services that are running on a business technology platform, and they consist of two separate tenants, the identity provisioning and also the identity authentication. You start then with the provisioning of SAP Cloud ALM, for which the access will be managed from the productive SAP Cloud Identity Services. The second system to be provisioned is the SAP Central Business Configuration, which is a separate system that runs on BTP and will support with configuration and implementation activities. The starter system, which is pre-configured with business processes and master data, is useful for delivering fit-to-standard workshops to the customers. The system gets provisioned by default with two tenants. Development tenant, it's the tenant which provides the access to SAP S/4HANA Cloud ABAP environment, and it's the environment you use to build your own custom developments based on SAP objects. In the development tenant, only developer extensibility is supported. In the customizing tenant, you can perform various activities based on the configuration from SAP Central Business Configuration tenant. Create low-code custom code developments in key user apps. You use the form templates that are under the key user extensibility category, and this is why you can only create a form template in the customizing tenant. After the fit-to-standard analysis configuration, definition of org structure, chart of accounts, fiscal year variant, and group currency, you have then the option to provision the development system, and as well it comes pre-configured with two tenants, and their usage was mentioned before. To make your configuration content available in the test and prod system, you need to transport them. The test system is the one that can be provisioned next, and it's where the implementation team should transport configurations to the quality system in weekly or bi-weekly sprints, followed by testing of configured processes. After the successful test of the configured business processes, the production system can be provisioned, and the starter system will be decommissioned 30 days after the production system provisioning email is received. Initially, the IT contact can itself grant admin access using the SAP Cloud identity to someone else, or on the partner side to facilitate system access for all the stakeholders. The lead configuration expert should have access in CBC to be able to perform the scoping and perform the business processes configuration. Access in CBC is granted via the test identity authentication service by creating the user, assigning it to groups, and pushing the user from the IDP. The project manager needs access in the SAP Cloud ALM to set up the project timeline and assign tasks to team members. The access in ALM is granted using the Prod Identity Authentication service. The line of business configuration expert will need access in the S4HANA starter system at the beginning for configuration and preparation of the Fit to Standard workshop. The access is granted using the Manage Workforce app right in the tenant, and the roles are assigned using Maintain Business Users app. The SAP Central Business Configuration is a cloud service that's integrated with SAP S4HANA Cloud and supports the scoping, configuration, implementation, and maintenance of SAP Cloud projects. The relevant settings you made in the SAP Central Business Configuration are transferred to SAP S4HANA Cloud Systems. The landing page of the tool is the Project Experience app, which is the main user interface of SAP Central Business Configuration, and it guides you through your evaluation and implementation projects, as well as ongoing operations. Every project is structured into phases, which contain specific activities that you need to complete. You can initiate change anytime to make additions to your scope, countries, and org structure, or make changes to your configuration settings. The project experience gives you information about project type, phases, milestones, activities, and their status. And also, the Project Experience app enables you to create a project, switch between projects, add team members to your project, maintain the status of projects and configuration activities, and also access all the applications. For example, the defined scope, deployment targets, set up org structure, or configuration activities. The Define Scope project activity guides you through the process of defining the scope of your project by selecting countries, regions, and scenarios. A scenario contains predefined content for the implementation of a business process. Scenarios can also be grouped into bundles. Built-in rules ensure that your selected content is logical and consistent from a technical and business point of view. The system calculates as well the configuration settings that are needed to realize the business scenarios for the countries, regions that you have selected for this project, so you can add any additional countries or scope later via the Initiate Change feature. The Setup Organizational Structure app supports you in modeling your org structure with predefined organizational units and templates before activating any content. The tool supports you to define your org structure and then activate the content data. Enhance your org structure as per business requirement when you have been using an activated solution already and would like to enhance your org structure using the tool, for example, to add a new plant to your existing org structure. The configuration activities app you use to adjust system settings to your business requirement. You carry out configuration activities in the scope and org structure phase, and all related project activities must be completed prior to go to this step. In the Config Activities tab, you can see the configuration activities in a tree view. The configuration activities are organized hierarchically according to their business area. Each configuration activity has a unique identifier, which is the configuration activity ID, also used in other reference materials. Regarding the transport management, SAP is offering a bunch of tools to manage the transport request process. We start with mentioning the transport organizer in Eclipse based in the ABAP development tools, ADT, in short, for managing transport requests for developer accessibility. The SAP Fiori app export software configuration, it's used when you create collection of key user extensibility objects and export them. The SAP Fiori app export customizing transports, it's an app you can use to manage and export customizing transport requests. And here we have two types. The sub-central business configuration transports, which are created and populated by SAP Central Business Configuration during CBC deployment, and business configuration transports, which are created by users during fine-tuning activities in the customizing tenant. The sub-Fiori app import collection, it's the app used when you import and forward all kinds of transports. It's available in test and prod system. For complex transport management scenarios, you can use the SAP Cloud ALM feature management to manage the complexity of the tasks. Regarding the upgrade release cycle, SAP S4HANA Cloud Public Edition undergoes major upgrades every 6 months, in February and August each year. Additionally, new features are introduced every month as an update when there is not a release upgrade in that month. The upgrade process is built in such a way so that the SAP S4HANA Cloud systems will not get impacted during the upgrade of the customer landscape. Half-yearly upgrades are performed as follows. Each customer is notified via email and also via the Cloud Availability Center and Cloud ALM 6 weeks prior to the test system upgrade, which is upgraded first. After the upgrade of the test systems, all kinds of transports, CBC business configuration, fine-tuning, developer and key user extensibility transports can still be moved into the prod system. The starter systems and other types of systems are upgraded 1 week later, and the development and prod system are upgraded after 3 weeks of testing period in which the customer can conduct proper testing of the new functionalities. So that's it from my side. Please, if you have any questions.
So for the round, please, there is a button in there for chat. This allows you to address questions. It's anonymous, so feel free to address questions. We have one right now in here. Can the configuration be moved from starter system to the development system?
Currently, the way the systems are built, no. The starter system is kept, let's say, in a separate environment, and it's only used for fit to standard analysis workshops. And currently, it's just a demo, let's say, for the initial setup of the system.
So probably somebody looking for efficiency, since the whole thing was done on the starter system, if cannot be moved now to development system. There is another one probably related. Is the starter system provisioning a mandatory step?
No, it's not a mandatory step, but it's highly recommended. So you can run all the workshops and do, let's say, a first draft of a project inside the starter system.
Okay, let's wait a bit, see if there are any more questions coming. Guys, ladies, please fill it in. Okay, are there any scope items that once configured can't be reverted? And probably in regards to configuration.
Yeah, so actually there are such scope items. We are talking about the ledger group, fiscal year variant, and group currency. They are settings that once done, they cannot be changed, let's say.
Okay, so please feel free to fill in if you have additional questions. At the moment, I think we can stop here. Again, you're going to receive an email with feedback. You can receive this recording. Feel free to contact Adi for additional insights, organize separate workshops. I'd like to thank you very much for your time and attending this webinar, and see you on future webinars. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.